The old lady looked at Priya with her gentle eyes and smiled softly. "Sit down, my child," she said, patting the ground beside her. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Priya wiped her tears with the edge of her sari and replied, her voice trembling, "I don't know, Grandma. I feel like everything is going wrong. What if my husband can't find work? What if he forgets about us? What if we have nothing to eat?" The old lady listened patiently, her eyes calm and kind. Then she shook her head gently and said, "Priya, when we fill our minds with bad thoughts, our hearts grow heavy and everything around us feels worse. But when we think good thoughts, our hearts feel lighter and sometimes good things begin to happen." Priya looked at her doubtfully. "But how can I think good thoughts when everything around me is so bad?" The old lady smiled again, a warm light in her eyes. "Let me tell you a story," she began. "Once there was a poor man who had nothing, no food, no money, and no family. He sat by the river one day, crying bitterly. An old woman passing by saw him and stopped. "Why are you crying, my son?" she asked. The man said, "I have nothing. How can I ever be happy?" The old woman smiled and said, "You have the river, which flows endlessly. You have the trees, which give you shade and fruit. You have the sun, which warms you every single day. Look around you. There is beauty and life everywhere. If you only think about what you don't have, you will always be sad. But if you think about what you do have, you will find peace." The man listened carefully to her words. He stopped crying and began to notice the river, the trees, and the bright sun. Slowly, he started to feel better. From that day on, he began to work hard, and his life began to change. The old lady looked at Priya and said gently, "You see, my dear, the man's life didn't change because of magic. It changed because he changed the way he thought. When we think positive thoughts, we find the strength to face our problems. But when we only focus on what's wrong, we feel weak and hopeless." Priya listened closely, her tears slowly drying. Then she asked, "Will my thinking really make a difference?" The old lady nodded. "Yes, my child. If you wake up every morning and say to yourself, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the strength to care for your children and face whatever comes your way. But if you keep thinking about what might go wrong, you will feel saddened, unable to act." Priya wiped her tears again and nodded slowly. "I understand now, Grandma. I will try to think good thoughts from now on." The old lady smiled warmly. "That is the first step, my dear." From that day forward, Priya began to follow the old lady's advice. Every morning, she told herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, cared for her children, and waited for her husband, with hope in her heart. A few weeks later, Priya received a letter from her husband. He had found a job in the city and was sending money back home. Her eyes filled with tears of joy. Overwhelmed, she ran to the old lady's house to share the news. The old lady smiled and said, "You see, my dear, when we think positively, we invite good things into our lives. Problems will always come, but if we face them with a hopeful heart, we can overcome them." Soon the old lady's wisdom spread across the village. Many people came to her to share their troubles. She always gave the same advice: think good thoughts, and good things will follow. The villagers began to see the power of her words, and their lives slowly became brighter. They loved and respected her even more for the hope and happiness she brought into their lives. If you're enjoying these stories, please subscribe to our channel. Your support means everything to us. Now let's get back to our story. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Alice. Alice was known for her infectious laughter and sunny disposition. No matter what challenges life threw her way, she faced them with a smile. One day, however, a shadow fell over Alice's life. Her business took a downturn, her friends seemed distant, and she felt a deep sense of loneliness. Despite her usual optimism, Alice found herself questioning if her cheerful attitude was a weakness rather than a strength. As days turned into weeks, she grew disheartened, wondering if her sunny nature would ever return. Just when Alice felt she couldn't endure any more sorrow, she stumbled upon an elderly gentleman named Thomas. Thomas was renowned throughout the city for his wisdom and kindness. People from all walks of life sought him out for guidance, finding solace in his gentle words. Drawn to his reputation, Alice decided to visit Thomas, hoping he could help her navigate this unfamiliar darkness. Upon meeting Thomas, Alice poured out her heart, sharing her worries and the turmoil she had been experiencing. She confessed how her positivity once her guiding light, now seemed burdensome, leaving her unsure of how to move forward. Thomas listened attentively to Alice's tale, his kind eyes reflecting her pain. When she finished speaking, he remained silent for a moment, contemplating the best way to guide her. Finally, he spoke in his calm, soothing voice. "Alice, your sunny nature is not a flaw to be hidden away. It is a treasure to be cherished. However, just as the sun needs rest after its long journey across the sky, your spirit needs moments to recharge in the quiet beauty of introspection. It is during these moments that you connect with your inner strength, allowing you to approach life's challenges with renewed vigor. You haven't lost your positivity. You're taking a well-deserved rest, before it returns even stronger than before." Alice considered Thomas's words, realizing the wisdom they held. She hadn't realized that her feelings of sadness were not a sign of weakness, but rather an essential part of her journey. With newfound clarity, Alice thanked Thomas for his guidance and returned home, determined to embrace the full spectrum of her emotions. Instead of fighting her feelings of sadness, Alice allowed herself to experience them, spent time in quiet reflection, journaling her thoughts and feelings. To her surprise, she discovered that processing her emotions brought a sense of relief. She understood that feeling sad sometimes was not a weakness, but a natural response to life's ups and downs. As weeks passed, Alice noticed a shift within her. Her sadness had transformed into a source of strength, enabling her to face her challenges with resilience. She reconnected with her friends, sharing her experiences and finding solace in their support. Her business began to turn around as customers appreciated her authentic approach. Most importantly, Alice rediscovered the beauty of her sunny disposition. Realizing that true positivity lay in embracing both the light and dark moments of life, once again, Alice became known for her infectious laughter and unwavering optimism. Her story became a beacon of hope for others struggling with similar challenges, reminding them that vulnerability and authenticity were not weaknesses, but strengths that enrich the tapestry of life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support and hope you continue to tune in for more wonderful stories.